Senator Natasha don't come out to address the public the way they treat am for House of Assembly. The other time wey be say him with the other senator take get misunderstanding. So she come out boldly to address the public and she narrate all wetin they do, how they take maltreat am, how they what the kind of words wey they use against her, how they take bully her. So she come out to address the public today. So make we and I will see the way they take welcome her also. My people, this woman dey boldly, well, wow. And this woman fit for president also now. Maybe if they give am chance to rule rule that country, that their country there, e go still do more better than the rest people wey they enter, they sit down on top of Africa there, they do nothing. So make I leave una make we listen to Senator Natasha, the way we take narrate all the thing wey pass through for government house. So please, if you come across this video, share this video, like and follow, and drop your comment according to this video. God bless you. Bye for now.
I enjoy the most privileges, but I want to let her know what she thought was privilege was actually sponsored by my husband or myself, not the Senate President. The fact that many people thought that because the Senate President was friends with my husband, therefore all the projects I had here, he was the one who gave me. Any subsidy, he gave me nothing. So I'm telling Senator Riti, I did not enjoy more privileges than she herself enjoyed or the other women. I actually suffered more. But because I did not want to put out my pain, I wanted to keep that harassment in secret. That was why I kept on working. Even if it had to require me spending my own personal money, I had to do it. And people thought it was a Pablo doing all for me. That's not so. It's good I put it right. But the peak of it happened on the 30th of January. This year, on the 30th of January 2025, there was the groundbreaking ceremony of the 5 mini LNGs in Ajakuta. That project angered him, and I'm saying it on camera. He got very angry, and he called a number of people in the cabinet, questioned them. How come that project found its way here? And he said, in his words, he said, how can such resources, gas from the Niger Delta, be moved to the north? That he will stop it. And I will prove to you what he did. After the Senate President removed me, by the way, it is because of the 5 LNG projects that Akpabio removed me from the Committee of Local Content. Because he said, ever since he made me as the chairperson of Local Content, I have used that office to promote the North. That was what he said. So 5 days after the groundbreaking ceremony, he removed me from the committee to the Committee on Diaspora. And that's okay. I took it in good faith. But what happened after that? He commissioned the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, commissioned his SLA, his senior legislative aide on Niger Delta, Dr. Ominimini, who is also the secretary of PANDEF. He commissioned him to start online and media propaganda against the 5 LNG plants. You can search on Google, you will see. Dr. Ominimini sponsored a lot of write-ups calling on President Tinubu to cancel the 5 LNG projects. It's all there, you can see it. Check Tribune, Vanguard, This Day. You see Google Dr. Ominimini. And I asked, are we not human beings here? Don't we deserve projects? Don't we deserve development in Kogi Central, Kogi State? Is Kogi State not part of Nigeria? How can a man, how can the Senate President, who is the Senate President for the entire country, how can he use his office to promote regional divide? Akpabio is not the Senate President for South-South. He's the Senate President for Nigeria. And it is wrong for Akpabio to use his office to commission and pass his SLA, Dr. Minimini, to call for the cancellation of the 5 LNG plants. Those 5 LNG plants were approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And for the fact, please, can you give him the applause? Yes.
For Tinubu,
The 5 mini LNG projects, they were approved by an executive order of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Akpabio does not have the power to stop it. Akpabio does not have the power to stop that project. We have been quiet for Jakarta Steel Company. But you know what? In the 1 year and 4 months I have spent in the National Assembly, I understand why Jakarta Steel Company is not working. Because of many interests. Nigeria is such a country that once you take one progressive step forward, you have 5 dragging you backwards. Especially when that project is in a land that people feel does not deserve of anything progressive. Sometimes I wonder, if a Jakarta Steel Company is in Lagos, will it stay moribund? No. In summary, there's a whole lot happening right now, but a lot is politically motivated. And these people are using the institutions to silence me. And in silencing me, they are silencing you.
You go clean.
On the 20th day of February, was the day I protested the move of my seat. I walked into chambers and I was told by the staff, Senator, you're not sitting here anymore. Your seat is by the corner, near where the workers are sitting down. A corner where the cameras will not get to you. In summary, moving my seat from where I sat before was a way of taking away my visibility. And I said, no, I will not move to that corner. I was not notified beforehand. I was not given a chance to ask, why are you changing my seat? Why can't you move somebody else there? Why me? But I will say this that I have not told people before. 2 days before that day, a senator called me and said the Senate President had complained about my sitting in that position. And I asked why. He said, each time the Senate President looks at the screen above me, and he sees me there, it angers him. I have not said this anywhere, but I'm saying it today. I was told about it 2 days before. And the night before that day, I mentioned to my husband, I said, the Senate President's hatred for me is deepening. You see, it got to a point whereby everything I did annoyed Akpabio. It got to that point where everything I did, the sheer presence of myself annoyed him. And that is what you call bullying. I was actually being bullied in the National Assembly by himself. Through his actions, I was being bullied. You know, I mentioned, and many of you know, for the past 8 months, I have not been speaking on the floor of the National Assembly.
Yes.
There was an incident that happened here in Oboroke, where after a heavy rainfall, a grandmother and her child were swept off by the flood into an erosion. There was a gully there. I penned that down as a motion so I could read on the floor and have the Senate President call on the SGF's office, because they do have these ecological funds that take care of erosions. I penned that down. Twice I wanted to present it, he refused me. So what does that mean? Each time the Senate President denied me a chance of presenting a motion of your needs is a time he silenced you and deprived you of your rights as a citizen. So all the Senate President did to me the past 8 months, silencing my bills, silencing my motions, and not allowing me to participate in debates, he silenced the voice of Kogi Central. I need him to understand the gravity of that.
Are you happy with it?
So I was suspended. When it all got too much, I decided to table. Oh, by the way, after that seat move on the 20th, that was when I sat my husband and I told him everything that I was going through. I had to open up. So, after I went public with the sexual harassment, the day after I tabled the petition, I was suspended. I tabled my petition on the 5th of March, 2025. On the 6th of March, I was suspended for 6 months. And they say my suspension is on the grounds of gross misconduct. And I ask, what exactly makes up the gross misconduct? Because I refuse to move seats? When there is a video of how the Senate President himself, when Saraki was a Senate President, you also how he behaved. I actually applied more decorum. I wasn't moving around as if I was going to fight. I didn't exchange words, and neither did I insult the Senate President. I minded what I said. I was very intentional. I put facts out. I said, Mr. Senate President, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid. May Yawa. You want to suspend me? And for clarity again. For clarity. My outburst on that day to the Senate President was in response to the fact that he told the Sergeant at Arms to take me out and told the clerk to prepare for my suspension while I was reading an Order 10. Yes. If you watch that video, I stood up and I said, Order 10, please, 3 times. I took the book and I started reading Order 10. The Senate President forgot that his microphone was on. And he said, Sergeant at Arms, take her out. I'm not his employee. Akpabio did not employ me. No. He can't tell people to, he can't instruct me to be taken out like I'm nobody. Because by telling me to be taken out, he was like telling the whole Kogi Central to be taken out. In addition, while I continued reading the Order 10, the next thing he said, clerk, prepare for her suspension. What does that tell you? He had been looking for a means of suspending me. He has been looking for an opportunity to get me out of that place.
Are you happy with
What that means is that my suspension was premeditated. It was planned. He had conceived it and was looking for an opportunity to strike at me. Because when they say I was suspended for gross misconduct, I'm like, we have seen senators fight. We have seen videos where senators will insult themselves and tear their clothes. Were they suspended? So what did I do to warrant being suspended? Anyway, then I will say this, and I'm saying this openly as well. On the 14th day of March, at about 10:30 p.m. On the 14th day of March, at about 10:30 p.m. I got calls that Governor Yahaya Bello was with Akpabio. That night. Now let me say this now. On the 14th of March, at 10:30 p.m. Mind you, 2 days before that, which was on the 12th, Akpabio had called Governor Dodo on the phone that he should commence my recall. But Governor Dodo told him it would be impossible. No, hold on. This was what Governor Dodo said on the 12th. Listen. He said,
All day.
on the 12th of March, Akpabio spoke to Governor Dodo to recall me. But he told him to be impossible because the masses are with her,
Yes,
the people are with her. But Akpabio was not satisfied. He then sent for Yaya Bello. And it was actually Senator Asukwo from Cross River that drove Yaya Bello from Hilton Hotel. I was informed of everything. And when I got to know, hold on, the meetings was in two folds. He told him to commence my recall. And that he was going to fund it. Of course, monies changed hands that night. The second thing he told him was that he should try and kill me. I didn't make this public, but I wrote to the IG of police. And Akpabio told Yahaya Bello, I am saying, standing by what I've said. He told him that he should make sure that killing me does not happen in Abuja, it should be done here. So it will seem as if it's the people that killed me here. I didn't make that public, but we did notify the security agencies of that. I called on the media houses. I called on This Day, I called on Punch, I called on a number of journalists that I know. I tried to get them publish the information ahead of time. That look, this is the nature of the meeting.